What's up, guys? It's time to talk about our favorite movie of the year. Just kidding. We're talking about Ghostbusters, and it was a piece of goddamn garbage.
Whoa!
Wow, whoa.
Straight
I
up.
wasn't even going to go that far, and I was the one who said I needed a beer to talk about it.
It was awful.
You said that you had a tear of blood during
The second half.
Okay, so just before we totally get into this is the review portion. We're going to talk about what we liked, what we didn't like, mostly the second part. And then after that, we will get into spoiler territory. We'll warn you before that happens. This was not a good movie. Like, it wasn't... Okay, so it wasn't terrible. It wasn't... I don't know if it wasn't like the worst, but it was bad. It was really bad. The first half of the movie seemed like scary movie, funny type stuff, like stupid jokes that really didn't matter to the movie.
Scary movie funny or like 80s movie funny?
No, like the Scary Movie series.
Okay.
Not sorry, scary.
I know you don't mean scary movie. But
Well,
I mean,
so like Scary Movie 3,
Yeah.
funny when it started to get really bad.
Yeah.
And after the first half was over, then it just was bad.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, okay, so like the first half, when they're discovering ghosts for the first time, I was like, okay. Yeah, okay, it's a reboot, whatever, we're gonna see where this goes. Like, oh, here's one ghost, oh man. And then, like, it seemed like they trimmed down the "it got everywhere" joke after such a negative reaction from that trailer of that joke happening. But I mean, yeah, the first half I would actually say was like solid. It was a people pleaser. There was a lot of like weird stuff, but I mean, it worked in its own way. And the second half just went full bad.
Full Nickelodeon action movie.
Yeah, full stop. Just
like
it just didn't want to take itself to be a Ghostbusters movie anymore. It just wanted to be another
action movie.
It's almost like it attempted to be a blockbuster action movie.
Yeah.
So like, all right, the last portion of this, let's see how we can mix in Avengers with Ghostbusters.
Yeah.
I mean, like I said, but as we've talked, I'm the one that's least judgmental of movies. I got bored with it like halfway through. The beginning, like they said, it's kind of funny. A lot of funny jokes. I think all three of us laughed at some of the jokes that were happening.
They were really good.
There were good, solid jokes
I
in the
like
beginning
Chris
of the movie.
Hemsworth's character, even though I feel like he was being like just targeting men.
Yeah, so I thought he was a funny character.
Yeah.
The first couple times they used his character, then I was like, all right, you're using the same joke over and over and over again.
Yeah, they were talking about like, oh, this is how females have been treated in movies, and I'm like, okay, like, cool, he's dumb and he's pretty and whatever.
Yeah.
Can we
let's move on to anything else.
Like, that's why it's just...
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really have much to say. Like I said, I got bored. I usually don't get bored with movies. I go into them looking to have fun, be entertained. I don't really remember the Ghostbusters movies that much because, I'm the worst, as we talked about.
Yeah, he's terrible.
Yeah.
So, but that's saying a lot. Like, usually people go into these kind of movies, or it's like a remake or a reboot or anything like that, it's always going to be based on the first movie, and I think that's probably how he looked at it, and that's probably how he looked at it. But with me, I had nothing to really base it off of. I remember who was in Ghostbusters. I remember the big marshmallow dude. I remember Slimer. I remember little bits and pieces, but I can't tell you like what happened because I watched it when I was younger. I haven't watched it since, but I still got bored. I got bored with it, and I stopped caring about what would happen because it was just
because
I don't know.
This movie wasn't really it wasn't trying to be the original Ghostbusters, which is like I kind of distanced myself from that from the get go. Like, well, the minute like the movie started, you're just like, all right, they're doing a little bit of a different thing here. Like, all right, I can distance myself, and not just solely compare it to the Ghostbusters original OG Ghostbusters. Which is why I did like the first half, because it wasn't the first Ghostbusters.
No, none of it.
Like, at all.
None of it stood up to either Ghostbusters movie, really.
I mean, it was a comedy. It was a good comedy. Like,
Well, the first half was a good comedy.
Yeah, the first half was a good comedy. Like, if I were to compare it, I would just be like, what happened?
Yeah, but even then, like, the first half of it still didn't compare to
the whole movie,
Ghostbusters 1 or 2.
I would just be confused if I tried to compare it.
I did like the special effects that they used for the ghost because it made it seem
So
very like cartoony and graphic-y and like over the top. Like you could tell it was trying to be like an old movie that was supposed to be entertaining and not necessarily real looking because ghosts are portrayed as like.
I disagree a little bit with that. I liked the ghost at the beginning, and I'll get a little bit more into this later. But I hated the graphics in the second half.
The later,
it really seemed like graphics like a Nickelodeon movie would have. I just didn't think it visually looked very good.
Three ghosts were portrayed.
Yeah, no, so I did too. Yeah. I loved those ghosts. Great. Those were awesome, and that all happened in the first half. But then it just got really bad, and it looked like I was watching like an early 2000 like Disney action movie or a Nickelodeon live action movie or something.
There was that Disney movie with Eric Idle, the ghost one. That was a long time ago.
I don't know who Eric Idle is either. I'm sorry, I'm terrible.
It's cool. He was just in Monty Python. You know, the amazing comedy troupe. It's cool.
I've seen the holy. Anyways. So let's give it our. So I'll go first on the rating. So this goes out of 5 nerds, and I'm gonna give it a 2. Overall, like didn't enjoy it as a whole movie. If I rated the first half, I'd give it a 3. The second half, I'd give it a 1. Therefore, 2. That's how numbers work, I think. Audio, So there's a song. It's in the trailer, so it's not a spoiler or anything. But the remake of the Ghostbusters song fucking hurts. With Fall Out Boy and Missy Elliott, it's just not.
Oh, Missy Elliott was in it.
Yeah, she was the one rapping. It's not as good as the first one, and like it plays in the movie, and I'm just like,
it's
okay.
Just not a good
song. That's another thing. Like I liked it because I'm able to separate. I know the old Ghostbusters song.
Yeah.
A song. I know that, and everybody knows that. I feel, but. This isn't the old Ghostbusters movie.
Well, that's but there.
I in my mind can accept that it's different. And actually, if they used the original Ghostbusters song, that would have made me upset because it's not the same thing, and you probably would have been upset too.
No. Yeah, no. So I also would have been upset at that. But my big thing is they're using Ghostbusters as a name, so it is Ghostbusters.
Right.
But it's a bad Ghostbusters movie. That's my thing about it.
Yeah, I think that. Since they were trying to be such a new Ghostbusters, it's cool that they got a new song, but
it's a bad song.
Well, they could have, if they were going to separate entirely and say this is a total reboot, they should have just done a different song.
Yeah, totally different song.
They could have made a new song.
Yeah.
Like, they didn't have to
use new lyrics and everything.
Exactly.
Yeah.
They could have done new lyrics, everything, and then I would have been totally okay.
Yeah.
But the fact that they made an entirely new Ghostbusters and then kept the core version, like
they did a remix of.
I mean, we have another problem besides the fact this is Ghostbusters. We have a problem with the movie industry as it is right now, where everybody is riding off of nostalgia.
Yeah,
and so it's not just movie industry; it's video games,
and
it's
TV
applications, it's TV shows. Like I'm not gonna get into it, but Pokemon Go. Like, when's the last time I thought about Pokemon?
You were the one to bring it up.
Never.
I didn't do it.
Yeah, I mean, never. But now that it's out, like I like Pokemon a lot more because it's nostalgic, and I don't know. I reboot this, reboot that, reboot this, reboot that. It just
I
don't know, it's getting old.
If Pokemon Go wasn't Pokemon, and it were as broken as it is right now, no one would play it.
Right.
You mean Ingress?
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Yeah.
No one knows what that is.
Exactly. Well, no, a lot of people know what it is now because they're using it for Pokestops. Anyways, so I'm giving it a 2 for the reasons I said. Bad half, good-ish half, 2 of 5 nerds.
I want to give it a 3. I want to be optimistic that if they learned from this movie, they'd be able to make the first half of this movie and extend it for the sequel. I want it to be there. So I'll give it a 3. I give it less if I were like trying to compare it or like be less hopeful, but I think that if they learned from this and they are able to make a good sequel that flows off of this well, then it deserves a 3.
I'm gonna give it a 2.5.
Ooh,
You're in the middle.
splitting it in the middle.
Wow. I'm rating it higher.
I think I probably would have given it in. Okay, how about 2.5 for the movie as a whole, and then if you include the credit scene with, which I'm not gonna give away too much, but if you include the credit scene, which we'll go into the next video, I might bump it up to like a 2.8.
See, I was kind of going
or 2.9.
That actually drops it for me.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't.
No, not the post credit scenes, just the credits running.
Oh, okay, okay, yeah, no, that was
We'll
awesome.
get into.
Yeah, okay, yeah, sorry.
Yeah, no, that's so. I mean, I had decent fun with it. I wasn't. I just got kind of bored in the middle of it, but that could have been because I had just gotten back from San Diego and I wanted to sleep. But I don't know.
All right, can we do